Well, good evening all. Ira Epstein with your Spider ETF stock market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for the evening of Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024. I'm just not used to saying December yet. Interesting. All right, well, today's a day full of action and news. In the sense of news, not so much market action. All right, well, we're seeing is, South Korea declared state of martial law, emergency martial law. About 5 hours later, that was voted out. Who knows what the president will do next, but he and the parliament do not get along on anything, so there's more to come, I would say that. The Israel-Lebanon situation, not holding well. There's intrusions every day, missiles firing, people still dying, so that isn't going all that well. A lot of economic data coming out. China today set up the date, at least, now that they're going to the closed-door meetings to set up whatever they're going to do. Remember, we had a series of meetings November, December, where fiscal policy, monetary policy, now we get execution policy. And that's what we should see coming out of this meeting. Whether it's good or bad, I don't know. But silver rallied about 60 cents on it. Copper went up 13 cents a pound. That's a lot. So you saw big moves that came about as soon as that news was announced. And crude oil jumped even on the news because if their economy comes alive, they need material, they need energy. If it doesn't come alive, problems. You know, when I mentioned copper, they're stopping buying now. In mid-November, the importers out of China stopped buying our scrap copper because of tariff times, when they're going to hit, when they would have the copper shipped out of the United States. It just doesn't make sense. I didn't realize that about 30% of the copper wires and everything that's made in China comes out of scrap. I didn't realize it was that large a number. And 20% of that scrap used to come from the United States. The fear of the tariffs, they don't want to spend 60% more, 50%, 40%, whatever the tariffs are going to end up on that. So you got to be careful. And as you saw today, China said that there's certain important minerals that they're not going to give to the United States. They could be used in military operations, according to them. It's the tit for tat. We see that. Now, before I get into all the market action, I want to remind you, we have our Cyber Week. If you go to iraepstein.com, we even made it easier. Just look on the left. You will see the green bar there. It says the sale, you've got X amount of hours left to buy, and after that, the game is over. This is the best you're going to get from me this year, I can tell you that. Complete futures, combo package, just the Spider ETF videos or the futures videos. 50 off on any 1-year subscription. Remember, when you click on it and you go in to get it, make sure you're on the 1 year. There's a toggle switch. We're all used to seeing them on websites. And it switches between monthly and yearly. And when it goes into your cart, that's when the 50% off will show. iraepstein.com, remove your cursor anytime up here. Now, in terms of news, well, today we had the JOLTS report. So before I go into all this, in the JOLTS, we have more jobs being offered, not less. We had a turnover rate that actually is going up, not down, because people believe with all the jobs being offered, they can leave one job to get a better job, whatever better means. I doubt they're getting salary increases. I think in the U.S. we're through with those for the time being. So you can move sideways, but I don't know that you're getting more money. I'm not hearing that anywhere. Tomorrow we're going to get the ADP private sector jobs. Since I'm on jobs, you're going to get that. Then we start at 6 in the morning with the Mortgage Baker Association numbers. You know, interest rates have been falling, so it'll be interesting to see if we get a little bit of a bump there. S&P Global Group, they're final. So we had a prelim, now we're going to get the November final. Service sector PMI. ISM's going to release their U.S. service sector numbers for November. Factory order data, first time we're going to see that for October. That comes out at 9. The Federal Reserve Beige Book, all the different regions, how they're doing. That's at 2 o'clock. And petroleum stock numbers are going to come out at 9:30 in the morning. I guess I should add the sequence a little different. So The other event, there's just so much that happened today. You know, where do you head with it? You got China's events, you got Korea's events, you got Israel, Lebanon, and then all this jobs report. There's a lot going on. But if you're really watching what's going on, it seems that traders haven't yet gotten back from Thanksgiving. You're not getting the big volatility moves in the futures, stock indices, and you're not seeing it here. Today, the energies were up a bit, and that's because of that China movement that we're seeing finally on a meeting. Microsoft up a little bit. One stock was up nicely, Meta, $20 gain, but it is a $600 stock. So let's understand what that is in terms of percentages. I'm surprised that you're back under $5 in AMC. It tells me there's still problems. How could you have these huge weekends setting records and the stock is falling there? So having come from having owned a movie theater, and I was the primary guy, there's definitely problems there. Tesla giving a little back, and of course, the investors and analysts are saying what I am. Is it really Tesla that's moving, or is it the relationship that Musk has with Tesla? I don't know. My wife tonight and some of my friends, I'm shooting with you, they went to my neighbor's house, and we have a gentleman in from Switzerland, he's my next door neighbor's friend, and he won the Musk contest for the pod. Remember, I don't know if you know that, Musk had a contest. Remember the pods for the boring and all that? This is the person that won, a young man in his 20s. He's here raising money in Chicago, so we've all met with him, things of that nature. And these pods can go 300 miles an hour. The U.S. Army's given them 43 acres by Pueblo, Colorado, so they want to use it in some manner. So this is interesting stuff. It's real stuff. But he's here, money raising, you know, the different rounds, how that goes. QQQ, I've got my traders still in that one. It's pretty darn good. I'm just a happy camper that the market has been moving up and doing what I thought it could do. We've started something new, by the way, in our, you know, you're seeing all these sales. I'm tracking now how lost embedded readings, bullish or bearish, do the objectives, and when they hit it, what you can make or lose before it misses it or it goes to it. Should be very interesting. When we look at Robinhood, it's still digesting price, but it's still looking pretty good on the charts. You've got a pattern of higher lows, but you got lower highs, so we're sort of in a pause area right here. The 18-day average is far away. Should the market get underneath 36.15, then it could fall back towards that 3,500 area, but barring that, still looking bullish. And if the market can clear 2 days ago's high, I'm talking Friday's high, you probably opened the door for new all-time highs at 40.19, at least on these charts. Momentum-wise, you're just overbought. You're not embedded at all. So then we come to the retail XRT. Now, they're saying, and the numbers I'm seeing was about a 6% increase to new highs on Cyber Monday. So that's to be applauded. But you're sort of going sideways. You're not really moving up right now. I don't know if that's problematic or not. I thought that you'd fight a battle at the 18-day average of closes in CrowdStrike, and I'm so happy I'm right. I'm looking at this for the people that have my full subscription. Where do I get them in? And that's what I'm looking at. In Rivian, I'm going to keep saying it. Even though the Biden administration agreed to a $6 billion sort of loan to Rivian to open the Georgia plant and everything, with the new relationship of Musk and Trump, will that be allowed to go through? I don't know. I'm certainly not one that's jumping on top of it right here because of that. When we look at China, I expected, once I heard the news today, I said, you're no longer in the bear camp, and you're not. You're back to the bull camp, but you're overbought right away. I'd be careful of this market. Toll Brothers, well, we're waiting to see how all these numbers fare out. You're overbought. The swing line is down, the bias is up. You could still be headed possibly back to 157. You don't have to be. The market's got to figure out a chart pattern that makes sense. The same goes for XHB, the home builders, overbought. They're identical charts. Whether you're looking at Toll or you're looking at this, you still have the swing line down and the bias up. In XLF, higher highs, lower lows. You lost the bullish embedded reading. I think price and the 18-day average are about to make a run at each other right now. That's what I'm expecting before you go on to higher highs. XLI, same thing. You're losing here momentum. I wouldn't be surprised, and you're already there for all purposes. You went to 141.56. The 18-day average is 141.58. So now the market can stall out for a little bit as I see it. On the energy sector, I'm going to admit, I didn't see this coming with China. I knew that they were going to do the meeting at some point. I've mentioned it in my written updates, but didn't know when. Now they've at least given some dates. Do you want to know the dates? Get my written updates. And you can see where the market's at right here, fighting that battle at that average. We'll see what happens in through here. It should be interesting. We'll see what happens. Still a difficult time to want to do anything. Now in the gold market, you're just running the upper Bollinger Band. Bullish, bearish, sideways, probably more sideways than anything else for the time being, but silver came alive. Silver and copper should jump if China's going to do something because they need that for their infrastructure, industry, and so on, if they're going to do it. So the battle at the 100-day average in green, for the moment, has been won by the bulls, and the market's now back in a bull mode. I think the pros will buy at 28.05 and probably throw in the towel if you get under the 27.60 level. Copper, similar. I think they'll be buying 42.58, and at 41.87, traders will go, nah, that's not enough to keep the market going at this point. Watch out in BND. If you get underneath here now, 73.17, you open the door up to get to the 72.86, the 200-day average, and the 18 at 72.88. You're overbought, not the place to be yet that I can see. In the dollar, to get bullish the dollar again, you need to get up and over now 30.12. If you do that, you switch the game from being one of lower highs, lower lows into the 18-day average to potentially higher lows, higher high, and open the door up again for 30.42, which means if you can take out the low here of 96.50s in the euro, you could be opening the door to get back to the 95.89. Not big moves, but moves that you should pay attention to. So again, interesting time. It's all going to be about jobs data the whole week long. Traders are just getting back from vacation. The volumes aren't large yet. Let's hope that they pick up from here. But it's sort of like, got my thumbs, I'm twiddling them. What do we do? A lot of traders are aware of the year-end rally potential. I'm certainly there, been talking about it, but I think it's too soon to play for that. I'm Ira. You have yourself a great weekend. Remember, you can click up here at any time to get to the sale area on our website, iraepstein.com. You'll see it on the top left. I'm Ira.